Can Beef wrote, said, bit long-winded, so are we. It's fine. And I hope this makes sense as a question. I love Tokyo RPG Factory, an offshoot of Square Enix. They made I Am Setsuna, Lost Sphere, and Oninaki. By no means perfect games, but they scratched an itch I had, and I really enjoyed those games. I pre-ordered each game and would have kept doing it as long as they made games. So my question for you is, what smallish company made you sad closing? Not a AAA developer, but one that made games you enjoyed and either ran out of business or, like Tokyo RPG Factory, was dissolved back into Square Enix. Hope that makes sense. I'd love to hear what companies or games you are sad will know, you know more of, and it's not the opinion of the masses. Love the podcast.
Blue Point was the first one that comes to my mind, and we were we've published this publicly, but the pre-orders for the Star Fox remake are off the charts because it turns out people want like a fresh coat of paint on a beloved thing that they cherish and have tremendous nostalgia for. And Blue Point was that factory. Right? Like they were the ones that they were the chosen ones in regards to that. Like I really think that, and I've said this before on the show, but I really think that there was a universe where every 2 years they modernized a classic PlayStation game. They made it look amazing. Maybe there'll be some debates on, you know, like the art direction, like there was with Shadow of the Colossus, like there is with Star Fox right now, right? Like there's the version of the thing you remember and the version of the thing you think you remember and the way you think it should look forever, yada, yada, yada. I enjoy those debates. As somebody that went to art school, I think they're interesting, they're fascinating. I'd rather debate that than like how many sales a game got or whatever, right? Aesthetics are some of my favorite things to talk about when it comes to video games. So yeah, Blue Point, like knowing that there was a timeline where they were maybe taking your Bloodborns, your Demon Souls, your, you know, like all the games that like were special to old school PlayStation fans, and modernizing them, and they don't get to do that. It bums me out because if you look at the excitement around, Metal Gear Solid 3 remake, right? You look at the excitement around the Silent Hill 2 remake, the Resident Evil 4 remake, like the Link's Awakening remake. Like there are some really cool remakes that have happened in the last 5 or so years, and I'm for those things. I think those things should exist alongside new games. And so, yeah, that's the first one that comes to my mind. Makes me sad to think about, but I love what they made.
Yeah, that's a good one. This is a deeper cut one, but Twisted Pixel. They made so they started out. They did like Comic Jumper and definitely more of a kind of Xbox leaning. They did Missplosion Man. They did a bunch of, I think they got absorbed by Xbox. They did Loco Cycle, which was like a Kinect game. They did the Gunstringer, which was like a weird puppet game. Then they broke off from Xbox and they were kind of indie for a minute and doing VR games. And then they got bought up by Facebook and Meta, whatever, and Oculus, whatever the hell it's called. And they made the Deadpool game that came out like last year. And then they just got shuttered because they didn't want to play with. And it just sucks because it's so much institutional knowledge. Like this is a studio that made weird little platformers that made the most of probably a pretty low budget and like whatever limited file size they had, because digital games were a very different thing back in, the XBLA days, PSN, like early days, like. And then they pivoted to taking the weirdest hardware and making good games for it. Like Gunstringer is regularly brought up as like, okay, the Kinect games kind of categorically suck, but this one's pretty cool. And then they were doing like, okay, let's do a bunch of VR stuff. They did a bunch of really cool things in that space. And I feel like they had, I don't know, studios that jump onto sort of emergent technology, whether it's like motion controls or VR or what have you. I feel like because it is such a kind of a niche thing, they're more likely than not going to play it pretty safe. But Twisted Pixel always struck me as being like pretty weird. Like they were willing to kind of just like get experimental and try some strange stuff, which was a pretty like kind of indie sensibility from what was otherwise like a AA studio. And again, it just sucks that they're like, okay, we bought this thing, we like the whole like acquiring a studio and then shuttering it because it didn't do what you want is like, we adopted a dog. Oh no, it peed. We're killing it. Like it's just, it's like, okay, like take care of the animal. Like give it a new home, rehome it. Do like
it bums me out.
Let it go. Let it run away. Like
that's just that modern video games is that you're only as successful as your last game,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like that's just the way it is now. Like this got me thinking about Volition, right? Like Volition.
Oh, man, Volition's another one, yeah.
Yeah, where it's like sure, the quality of some of the Saints Row games were, not where I wanted them to be, especially the most recent one. But do I want Saints Row to go away forever? Do I want Volition to go away forever? No. Like would like a 7 out of 10 Saints Row game last year to hold us over to the 16 GTA 6 delays been cool? Probably. I don't know, but like I miss games like that.
Mm-hmm, for sure. No, it's sad because that's a tough question because there's a lot of answers to it, and yeah, I don't know, bummer.
Yeah, I mean, we grew up watching basically the entire AA level of the games industry kind of collapse, right? We have like AAA and indies now, and all the gradients in between, but like studios like or publishers like Midway, right, and Acclaim, like didn't always make the best games. Like you and I, you're writing a script right now about a specific character who got a lot of games. I wrote one about the Simpsons and South Park in the last year. They put out a lot of shovelware. They put out a lot of licensed trash, but also they put out some weird stuff that took some big swings and made some really cool games. And yeah, I miss that era.
Mm-hmm. No, it's. I feel like the kind of scrappiness and experimental nature of sort of earlier video games, the kind of stuff where like, oh, in like Warcraft 2, if you click on the sheep enough, it quotes babe. Like, why did they bother putting that in there? Like the weird Cowram and Diablo, like just that kind of, I don't know, I'm talking about Blizzard games, but like just that level of like bizarre Easter eggs, like goofy stuff. Like, oh, that's the I forget, Sam the rabbit from Sam and Max is in he's hidden in every LucasArts game somewhere. It's like a bizarre little tucked away thing. Cheat codes. That was a thing that didn't need to be there, but it was fun. It was just, I feel like
thinking about that.
Regular or, conventional, whether it's AA or AAA or single A video game development got so prohibitively expensive that you didn't have time to screw around like that. Meanwhile, indie games kind of came in and sort of usurped that playfulness that came with it. And there's no like middle ground there. It's just a bummer, but
no, I think that also the push to make everything like an online multiplayer thing kind of killed cheat codes also.
Yeah, that's true. I love it. Like GTA 6 is probably going to have cheat codes because Rockstar does that, which is awesome. I love it.
That is pretty cool. Yeah, like they're one of the last few big developers that are shipping single player games that have a multiplayer component that'll have cheat codes.
Funny. Yeah, I like it. Anyway, okay. Jerica J says, "What games would you like to see Muppet versions of?" This is a great question. Of the Muppet characters, who's playing who in the game, and who is the lone human unchanged character from the game?
I mean, we both want Muppet Bloodborne.
Yeah, I think I did a Twitter thread back in the day that was like Muppet characters as Bloodborne characters, and it blew the hell up. And then somebody was like,
I remember that.
Someone else was like, I did this, and it was like, it's the same idea. I don't know, but yeah, that's a good one. You don't have to do too much there because like Muppet Christmas Carol is already pretty, Victorian or Gothic or whatever. Tommy chimes in, says, so badly wanted a Muppet Star Fox. Yeah,
I mean, we kind of the new one's kind of puppety. Right?
I would love Muppety Puppety Ratchet and Clank. I hate that series of words that came out of my mouth.
So that was one of the most British things you've said by accident.
Muppety Puppety Ratchet and Clank. Peaky Blinders.
I want an open world Muppets game that's not necessarily like GTA, but it's got like a little Lego City undercover. Just like there's some slapstick haphazardry, some nonsense, and you can unlock different Muppets.
That's like an actual Muppets game would be cool. That'd be pretty fun. It would be weird because you'd have to see a lot of their legs, which always seems kind of uncanny. But I love the idea of being like, let's take an existing franchise and just do it with puppets, which we've seen that it's weird. We've seen because like Star Fox had puppets, and then there was also that period where it was like Nintendo executives as Muppets. Why? I don't.
Did that puppet boxing game ever come out?
No, we're probably going to get a look at that in a few weeks because Jeff Keighley loves puppets. He's always showing off his puppet stuff. He does. Yeah. Dude loves the Muppets. He's crazy about it. I feel like the whatever game is like, yeah, we're doing it with Muppets would just get like, it would be the one more thing, and it wouldn't be like a high guard situation. Everyone would be like, yeah, all right, Jeff, we get the puppet version of that. No, I think Ratchet and Clank would be really cool. I feel like my hang up with a lot of PS2 era games is they are kind of heavily informed by like that kind of DreamWorks aesthetic. And like that, they got that kind of like they're sort of going for Pixar, but it's not quite landing.
So did you know that there was a Muppets PS Vita game? called the Muppets Movie Adventures.
That seems like a money laundering scheme where you design something so engineered specifically to fail.
Yeah. Yeah, man. That's one of those franchises that hasn't gotten a video game in a long time.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, that seems like a thing that should get sort of farmed out.
Did you watch that new? They just weirdly shadow dropped a single episode of the Muppet Show with Sabrina Carpenter?
I should watch. Did you watch that? I should watch that.
It's awesome.
I'm not like a big Muppets guy. I respect their work, but I was never really into them as a kid, and I don't know. I'm talking more just like the technology. Like we're at a point where with Unreal 5 you can make things that just look like they're made of foam rubber and felt and stuff. And I would love to see more. I like the Bug Snacks had that whole aesthetic, but I mean,
I think you would like the new Muppet Show because it is a story of a group of people that make a new episode of a show with very little prep.
Oh boy, that sounds good. Who would do such a thing?
Who would ever do such a thing?
You can't see their legs. Just what a bunch of yeah. My answer is Ratchet and Clank, but I want open world Muppet. Take a bunch of sort of like overly designed, video game aesthetics that are like they just look too video gamey, and then be like, all right, what does it look like if it's made out of like cardboard tubes and felt? Like, what is that? I kind of want to see that, but still have it like give realistic effects and things. That'd be neat. Anyway.
Hey, thanks for watching this clip from Beyond, IGN's weekly PlayStation show. You can find the full episode over on youtube.com/IGN Games. And don't forget, new episodes of Beyond drop every Wednesday on IGN.com, the IGN Games YouTube, and all your favorite podcast platforms. Thanks again for watching, and as always, Beyond.